Listen, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Seattle, Washington, what we do, what we like, the adventures of Seattle, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so that you will be the first to know about the current market in Seattle, Washington. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you, wanting help with making the move to Seattle, Washington, and believe me, we absolutely love it. So whether you are moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email so that we could help you make it as smooth as possible to move to Seattle, Washington. Okay. In this video, we're going to talk about the 15 things you need to know before moving to Seattle. And so I'm going to get started. So number one, we have no sales tax, which is amazing because you know, who wants to deal with sales tax? So we have no sales tax. Number two, the summers in Seattle, they are absolutely breathtaking, amazing. Seattle has the country's best summers because it's very warm and dry, and it has we have very little humidity compared to other places like Georgia, Texas, or Arizona. Whereas it's so hot, so if it's like say 90 degrees, it feels like it's like 110 degrees. Whereas here, if it's 80 degrees, it feels like 80 degrees. So that is one of the great things. It's a great time if you like boating, hiking, kayaking, anything that you want to do that is outdoorsy. Seattle's weather is perfect. We have the Olympic National Parks. We have the San Juan Islands, which I love the San Juan Islands. The orcas you get to see a lot of orcas. We have orcas here, of course, but I think that you see more on the San Juan Islands. But the only downside to summers in Seattle, they're just not long enough. I wish they were long enough. But during the summertime, the springtime is absolutely beautiful. You will enjoy it. Just an amazing, amazing place. Number three is the winters are very gloomy. The winters is very rainy, but unlike what most people think, it doesn't like rain like other places, like this hard rain. It's more like a mist. It's like a mist, and it's very, very cloudy. And the only thing with that is just like an annoyance because, you know, it's overcast, it's misty, and it gets cold, but it doesn't get as cold as some of the other places. Number four, Seattle has more rainy days than most any other city in the U.S. So just think about that. We have like, you know, a lot of cloudy days. Number five, it's expensive to live here in Seattle, but it's not as expensive as San Francisco, even though we're catching up, but it's not quite there yet. But, you know, we have a lot of activity here, people moving here from all over. So it's getting more and more expensive to live. So the cost of living is rising. Number six, you aren't the only person moving to Seattle. So you know, there's a lot of people moving here, a lot of tech companies. There's a lot of growth here in Seattle. So just want you to know that like everybody is moving. So if you think this is one of the places that you want to live, come, we will help you move to wherever you need to move to. Let's see. Another good thing about one of the things here in Seattle also is if you are a new person coming to the city, you won't have any problems meeting someone else and just meeting people because you have lots of people moving here and they're trying to get acquainted with the city also. Number seven, we have our famous Dick's Burger. versus In-N-Out Burger like in California. But in my opinion, I think In-N-Out Burger is much better. But the Seattleites here, they love their Dick's Burgers. Dick's Burgers, they're known for their burgers, and they have really good fries, and they have really, really good milkshakes. But I still say In-N-Out Burger. Number 8, don't count on living in a boathouse. People think, when they think of Seattle, they think of like boat homes, and we do have some, but they are very rare, and they are more expensive to live in the boat home as opposed to other places in the city. Number 9, of course, we have our sports. We love our Seahawks, our Sounders, and our Mariners. Like, we are a sports city. I mean, we are so into our sports until we are called the 12th man, because we love our sports. The people here, if you ever go to a game, especially like the Seahawks or the Sounders, I mean, it's so loud, like it's extremely loud. So we love our sports. Seattle is a very, very active city. So there's lots of things to see and do. The culture is amazing. Number 10, pot here in Seattle is legal. So you can legally smoke pot in Seattle, but you can legally purchase and smoke pot here in Seattle, but you cannot do it in public. But you know, when you walk around, especially downtown, you're going to get, you know, a whiff of it, because, you know, people are still smoking it, but they should not smoke it in public. Number 11, which I thought was pretty interesting. There are more men here in Seattle than females. So about 130 males to every 100 females. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Number 12, the traffic is absolutely terrible. I mean, when I say terrible, it is terrible. If you're in rush hour in the morning, it's like bumper to bumper traffic. So you need to leave in plenty of time. If you have to be to work at 9, for example, and you don't like live in the city of Seattle, or even if you do live in the city of Seattle, if you have to be to work at 9, you might want to leave at least an hour and a half before time, because traffic is absolutely terrible. I think the best time to travel, if you travel, like I would say after like 10:30 up until about maybe 2:30, traffic is doable. But anytime between like 5:30 and maybe 10 o'clock is bumper to bumper. And then from about 3, I would say, until about 6:30 is bumper to bumper. So the traffic here is terrible. A lot of people take the public transportation because the traffic here is absolutely terrible. Number 13, the people here, the Seattleites, are serious about our coffee. Like, we have tons of coffee shops on every block. On some blocks there are like 2 or 3 different coffee shops, you know, the mom and pops, or just different coffee shops. But we are most famous for the most famous coffee shop, which is Starbucks. I would say in any given block, you might have 2 or 3 Starbucks in any given block. So we have Starbucks all over. Anytime you go to Starbucks, the line is going to be wrapped around, whether you go inside or outside. So people here in Seattle, we love our coffee. Number 14, Seattle is very hilly. Like, any place in Seattle is very hilly, but especially like downtown or any central location in Seattle is very hilly. So when you are visiting Seattle or living in Seattle, you have to really kind of be in good shape, because you're going to do a lot of walking, and it's very hilly, so it's very steep. Some hills are so steep. So you have to just have really good shoes on, walking shoes, and just kind of be in good shape, because if you're not, you can really get exhausted walking up the steep hills or walking down the steep hills. Okay, and number 15, we are a great beer city. We are one of the country's best beer cities. So I think that I have covered everything, and I hope that this video helps you to decide whether you want to come to Seattle or not. But I forgot to say, my name is Sheila Duncan, and we get calls and emails every day from people just like you, wanting help with making the move to Seattle, Washington, and we absolutely love it. We absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email so that we could help you make the smooth move to Seattle, Washington. And as always, I hope I see you around town.